and welcome back to the Frugal Life with Mercedes. I am Mercedes. Today I am just going to chat with you guys. I got a bunch of peaches from the farmer's market. So these are seconds. If you don't know what seconds are, at my farmer's market they have a table that says seconds, and they are fruits and vegetables that are maybe a little overripe or have some soft spots. And I like to buy them and make things out of them. So what I did was I sorted the peaches into peaches that are still really good, and I'm going to eat them the next couple of days. And then this bag of them are ones that I'm going to go ahead and peel and cut. I've got a bowl here that I will put the peaches in, and I've got a plate here for the pits and the peels. And I'm just going to put these in my freezer, and I will make jam at some point. I've made jam for years. I've actually never made peach jam, so it's something that I wanted to do. So anyway, so we are going to start this process, and I figured that I would go ahead and talk to you guys while I'm doing it. So today is the 4th of July, and so Brandon and I both had the day off of work, and so we slept in, and then we went to the farmer's market. We don't go to the farmer's market every week, but I do like to go to the farmer's market on Saturday, but the farmer's market was open today. So I went ahead and we went and we got peaches, plums, apricots. We got the good, what are they called? Cinnamon rolls. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is evening, and so there is like firecrackers and stuff going off. Brandon is sleeping because he gets up super early. I don't know how he sleeps through all that, but he is a good man. So, what was I saying? So yeah, we got the good cinnamon rolls. And what else? What else did we do? And that was it. I guess peaches, plums, apricots, good cinnamon rolls. And, that was the thing I wanted to tell you guys. So I had never had an apricot before. So I've had them in like cereals or, like I think like dried apricots before. And I wasn't really a fan of them. So they had apricots and they looked really good. And it turns out that Brandon had never had like a real apricot before. So I asked the owner of this farmer's market, it's my favorite one, if I told her, I said, I've never had an apricot before. Is there a way that I could like try a sample of it? Because they do have samples of some of their apples and some of their peaches and stuff. And she was like, well, we'll solve that right now. And this lady walked over to the apricots and she just ripped it and handed half to me and half to Brandon. And it was so good. And she explained, like, you want to ripen it on your counter and then put it in the fridge and, all that kind of stuff. And, she was very nice. And so I can't speak for every farmer's market, but this place definitely does not mind giving you a sample. Of course, I never just take a sample. I always ask. So I think that's why they don't mind, because I'm never sitting there like just taken from their stash without asking. So anyway, so we did get some apricots, and if you've never had an apricot, the best way to explain it is like a peach and a plum got together and made a baby. Like, I don't know any other way to describe it. So apricots are pretty good. I think they're very tasty. I think I've had like apricot jam before, but I wasn't really a fan of it. But these fresh apricots are really good. And at my farmer's market, basically I would say 95% of everything at the farmer's market is grown there. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of farmers markets don't necessarily sell stuff that is local. This one actually is a farm, and they have signs like if something is not from their farm, then there is a clear sign that says that it's not. So, because I have a girlfriend and she's from another county in Virginia, and she lives here now, but she said that in that county, in order to say local, it has to be from a certain amount of miles. But the county that I live in doesn't have such regulations. So literally, I could open up a farm stand, get food from Costco, and, have a farmer's market. Now, if that doesn't matter to you, that's cool. But for me, the whole point of the farmer's market is these were literally grown right here, and I like that. Now, these peaches are actually Georgia peaches, but they were clearly marked and they were seconds, so if we did not get them, then they were going to be heading to the trash. Well, I don't know that they necessarily would have been heading to the trash, because that place, they make their own jams and syrups and all that kind of stuff, and the owner of the farmer's market, the lady that had given us the apricot to try, she had told me another time that they take that stuff and that's what they make their preserves and stuff with. So pretty much nothing goes to waste there. But they have local honey, and they don't have bees, but down the road there is the bees live in a farm, on a farm that's down the road from the farmer's market. So I'm talking 2 minutes down the road. It's right there, and there's the signs for it. So anyway, that's just something to keep in mind. I don't know if a lot of people know that, because when I've told people, because there's other people, we have a lot of farm markets around here. And where I live in Virginia is actually really well known for their apples. But there are some farmers markets that if it's not apples, then it pretty much isn't local. And so there was a farmer's market I really liked for a lot of years. And then I started I don't know, I just kind of started asking questions because I'm pretty inquisitive. And I was like, well, how do you guys grow all this stuff here? It was a farm, and it's a huge farmer's market, but it's just a tiny farm. So I just assumed that the farm was down the road or whatever. And so I asked, the person running it, I was like, oh, well, is your guys' farm down the road? And he was like, no. He's like, the land that you see here is what we have. And I was like, well, this is only this isn't very much for, how much produce that you guys produce. And he was like, oh, well, he's like, we only grow, whatever, certain fruit. And mind you, this place carried a lot of different fruits and veggies. And I think he said 2 or 3 vegetables that they grew, and some berries and apples, not very much, but basically everything else was not local. And the thing that I didn't like was that there was no sign saying what was and what wasn't. So then I went on the search for another farmer's market, and I found the one that I've been going to for a decade. And I remember that my first time there, I was like, how much of this stuff is local? And she's like 90 to 95% of it is local. Unless we have a bad crop, then we might outsource it from another farm. She said usually in West Virginia. And at the time, their honey was coming from West Virginia, but West Virginia is not very far. But she said, anything that we do not grow here on the property, there will be a sign. So today they had watermelons, but they are from North Carolina. They had Georgia peaches, but it said Georgia peaches. But then they had some peaches that were their peaches, and they said that, I'm not going to say the name of the farmer's market, but it said Joe's Farmer's Market, peaches. and then next to it was the Georgia peaches, so that you did get an option of whatever it was that you wanted. So, and I am making a big mess, a big sticky mess. That's why I'm doing it in the bag. But none of y'all come after me for how I'm cutting these peaches, because this is what works for me. I'm sure there is a million other ways that is easier and safer. Don't do it the way that I do it. But this is what works for me, because I want to get these in the freezer before they go bad. But I'm actually in the process of making applesauce, and you guys are probably have already seen that video. But I'm making applesauce, and right now it's just cooling off before I can blend it up and finish that video. So while I was waiting, I like to multitask. So I wanted to go ahead and get these peaches put up, and I will make jam with these peaches another evening. I need to get some pectin, because I made some blackberry jam a few months ago, and Brandon and I are still eating on that. And that was my first time making freezer jam. And if you guys have never made jam, I would definitely suggest trying freezer jam if you have the freezer space. I love canning jam, but I just did not have it in me when I made it to go the canning route. So I looked up a recipe for freezer jam, and it turned out great. So, and those blackberries were also local. So a girlfriend of mine has blackberries, and I got those from her. So that was nice. And we use a lot of jam around here. Like, I make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for Brandon a lot for work, and we have them with dinners and lunches and all that. So we got juice on me. So yeah, so I'm just multitasking and figured I would just chat with you guys. But that's all that's going on. So today is Thursday the 4th. I do have to go to work tomorrow. I was off for the 4th of July, but then I've got to go back to work tomorrow. And Brandon's got to go back to work tomorrow. But then it'll be the weekend. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before or not, but you know, it's sometimes hard to remember what I mention on here and what I don't mention. But on Saturdays, since we moved, we have been going to a local preserve place and walking Saturday nights when it's not so hot, but before it's dark, because the preserve place closes at dusk. I think I've only got one more peach left. Sweet. So we've been doing that. So that's been really nice, because, you know, we really like to hike. So if we go hiking, then we don't go, so I shouldn't say every Saturday, because a lot of times some Saturdays we're out hiking, and some Saturdays we're just kind of, maybe, it depends what's going on, we're running errands and different things. This one's real mushy, but I bet this one will make the best jam. So, so not every Saturday, but we do some sort of hike every Saturday. So that's really nice. But yeah, I think that's all that we really got planned. But I got to go to work tomorrow. So I was just trying to finish this up and just talk to you guys a little bit while I'm doing it. I'm trying to make videos as I put around the kitchen. I put around the kitchen quite a bit. If you guys are new to frugality, I will just kind of put this little plug in. A frugal kitchen is a cooking kitchen. Now, you guys know I do cook, but cooking is not one of my favorite activities. I've said a million times, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I would be eating out 3 meals a day. That would be like my dream lottery situation. Chinese food and Five Guys and, all the stuff that I love. But really a frugal kitchen is a frugal house, a frugal kitchen is a cooking kitchen. These peaches are not going to go to waste. They're going to turn into jam, which is going to turn into sandwiches for my man. We got apples. Like I said, I've got the video out for my applesauce. Those were apples that I got really cheap at the farmer's market. They are applesauce. They are going to be a good snack and a good side dish. But this is really what it's like. Like, I am putting around the kitchen every night, between meals and meal prepping and trying to preserve, the food so it doesn't go to waste and all that kind of stuff. So I guess I could just add that in since, that'll make this video about frugality. So, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know that was really a frugal video. And granted, it's a frugal life with Mercedes, so we do talk about other stuff. But that's my little plug for frugality today. So, I have got to wash my hands and get the applesauce going and getting this finished up. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of chatty, rambly video. I know some of you guys really enjoy it, and I like doing it because, like I said, he's asleep and, I'm just kind of hanging out. So I might as well film it and get to chit-chat with you guys. So I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying your summer, and please consider subscribing. And until next time, bye.